Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to this weekend's Shock Drop.
Shocking. Y'all, we're dropping the Shock Drop on Friday. It's not going to go on forever, likely. There might be one more. We've got some of the small to mid-size sets that don't make 10 at 10s, and they're a little too big for the limited. They're more than one or two.
So the way this works, these things are going to drop Friday, and it's the shocker all weekend long until they disappear. So until these things sell out, they're here on the website.
Yeah, they all disappeared last weekend, y'all. So, we've got these here getting listed today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start off with Azuma Murasaki. This is a classic selection, a shape to something similar to like a Moriyama almost, and it has this unique coral kind of color in the new growth in the early spring. It's a heavy Matsumuri. This is a classic selection you don't see offered very frequently. Guys, we're dropping it today on the Shock Drop.
All right, next up, we've got Judy Girl Broom. Billy Short says it may be his best introduction of all time. I tend to agree with him. I like this one a lot. One of my favorite new brooms. Man, I'm surprised you didn't save a set for a 10 at 10. It's a decent amount, but they sell out in seconds on a 10 at 10 when we list 100. So this small amount's going to be gone pretty quick. So I wouldn't wait on Judy Girl Broom if you're after it. It's a really nice, compact, dense broom, more of an oval shape, more of a dense, almost egg shape to it. Absolutely love the tree. The colors are amazing. I like the leaf shape and texture. Probably the best new broom I've seen in the last 20 years. I like it a lot. Besides Pink Princess, but it is a good one.
Yeah, I would agree. It's an amazing new selection. Next up, we've got Palmatum Firefall. This is probably one of the best new red lace leaves I've ever seen. It's the only lace leaf that I've seen that could compare and sort of compete with something like a Tamukiyama. It holds its color real well, but instead of that deep maroon color that Tamukiyama goes to, it's a little more picked up, more cherry red color. It's extremely heat tolerant. This tree is durable and easy to grow. I
think because it's such a shocking drop, we're talking even faster. It's like we don't sound like Southerners anymore. We're like, tell them about this one quick. It's shocking. All right. The Southerners out there, which we are like, why are they talking so fast? All right, Abigail Rose. This one's from the Deep South, y'all. This one's from Harold Johnston. Awesome plant. One of the dwarf forms of Higashiyama. Harold introduced this, and it's just a showstopper for the color. I think it had a resurgence because there's a lot of people named Abigail. I've got two different friends with daughters that are named Abigail Rose, and so a lot of people want this one for their family or daughter that has that name. Abigail Rose, though, nice, compact, 5 to 6 foot, even in 15 years. It's really a nice tight form of Higashiyama. Great pinks on this one in the spring. You get that reticulated variegation. Added little benefit that it does tend to be extremely heat tolerant.
Yeah, I mean, that reticulated Higashiyama style and that dwarf compact form is really nice for Abigail Rose. This is one that we've got a decent amount of. It's probably one of the higher numbers in this Shock Drop, but it's going to sell out quickly. It's a small set from normally when we list Abigail Rose. Like Judy Girl Broom, we normally list sets of 50 to 100 when we drop Abigail Rose because it's extremely popular and easy to grow. Next up, guys, we've got Acer Palmatum Green Cascade. This is a selection by Art Wright, and it's a lace leaf japonicum. So it's everything you love about lace leaves and everything you love about japonicums wrapped up all in one.
I love when we had to cut earlier because one of our employees, we can actually see out the windows here where we're filming, and one of our employees came in the nursery going like 50, and Tim said, here's a new one by Art Wright. I was like, Tim, I think he passed away in like the 80s. I don't know this guy.
I know. I was distracted. I was like, holy moly.
It caught his eye off completely. So Tim's like, what is going on over here? Here's a new one, Green Cascade. Like, I don't think I met him. I think he passed before I was born, maybe, or at least around that. Anyway, Green Cascade, phenomenal plant, great fall color. Those japonicums, especially the lace leaf weeping kind of forms, this one gets low and wide, are just the perfect trees for that fall color in a low compact form. You get the red tassel flowers. There's a lot to love about Green Cascade. Small numbers. It's back, though, so here's a chance to grab one.
And the ones listening today of the Green Cascade, they're high grafts, so they've got some good size to them to start out with. Green Cascade has that horizontal growth to it, so it gives you a little bit of height before it gets that horizontal weeping shape.
All right, guys, next up, we've got Wildfire. These things sell like wildfire. They're popular. They're great. They've been getting a lot of people's top fives. If you notice people in high heat areas, Lee Todd out in Oklahoma was like, this thing is bulletproof. You don't really want to bring a Wildfire to Oklahoma. That's kind of an odd pick, but awesome plant, guys. Durable, heat tolerant, great winter interest. These are going to work zone 6 through 9. Just an all-around showstopper of a plant. And you get a lot of bark interest. You get yellows, reds, and oranges all in this tree in that winter months. more of similar color pattern to that of Sengokaku, so more of a green, but I have had more red fall color on this one as well.
Yeah, you get some of that orange red in there that is really unique. Don't be surprised if it starts out with yellow, but it changes really quickly to that red color that Matt was talking about in the fall. Exceptional and easy to grow, durable plant that everybody's been loving lately. Next up, we've got Acer palmatum Holy Ghost. We listed these on a 10 at 10 not too long ago. Guys, they didn't count them all up. There were a few more around. They're dropping on this set of today's shock drop. Holy Ghost, newer selection, reticulated. Not a member of the Ghost series. Like the name Holy Ghost, this tree just gives you some really nice cream reticulated variegation with a little bit of green in there.
You need the Holy Ghost whether you got the tree or not. Coming in next, we got Hogyoku seedling. Now, these are seedlings from Hogyoku. We had these on a 10 at 10 a while back. Found just a few more, so this one's very limited. They're great for people that want some of that Hogyoku characteristic, but not a graft. These are selected to be similar to Hogyoku. Again, they're not Hogyoku. They are seedlings from it. But they would make a great bonsai for somebody that wants something more natural without a graft union.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find variability in these because these are from seed. That means they may have similar fall color to Hogyoku or maybe different. I mean, we don't really know. The leaf shape did look very similar to Hogyoku, which was really interesting.
It's shocking how fast we're talking today. We both had our coffee this morning.
Hey, I'm still working. Wait till mine kicks in. Next up, we've got Acer palmatum Amato. Now, Amato is an amazing fall color Japanese maple. It's one of the best fall colors. We recently did a cultivar highlight of this at Maple Walk in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. I'm kidding. Keep going.
I wasn't even going to make the joke.
Oh, don't make the joke.
I made the joke in the video. So if you want to see the joke, go check out our cultivar highlight on Amato. If it hadn't aired soon, you better check it out.
I'm surprised you could talk about Amato without making the joke. It's like every time now.
Y'all, Amato is one of the best fall colors. It gives you a nice green lively feel during the spring and the summer, and the fall color is a fire engine red, and it's a classic selection. Limited quantities dropping today on the shock drop.
Yeah, I hope you guys like this shock drop. Basically, again, the way this is going to work, new items are listing today on Friday. They're going to be up all weekend unless they sell out. Most of these are going to sell out. They're not in huge numbers. It's like a little limited 10 at 10 for you guys. It's a little bit of the 10 at 10 and it's a little bit of the limited sale. Not huge numbers in these things, but you get things that come back out of nowhere, like our next person here, our next tree here on our list, the Seasons of Change. This is a great Shirosawinum introduction. I like that it has kind of a purplish bark to it as well. I think the bark interest in it's nice. It's kind of like a predecessor to Bronze Age. It's got a little bit of that bronzing going on in it. Interesting plant. Kind of a purplish color when it first leaves out. Then it gets to kind of a mauve bronze. Really a great overall plant. Tends to be more of a red fall color. Nice tree though. Seasons of Change.
Yeah, it's interesting that the colors, they're not quite the same as Bronze Age, but they're similar. But the bark is so different. Because Bronze Age, you get that green bark, that sort of lime green bark. And with Bronze Age, you get that deep purple. Two Acer Shirosawinum hybrids. Seasons of Change, one we hadn't listed in a while. Guys, take advantage of them getting listed today in lower quantities. Next up, we've got Acer, and we can call it Longipes. We can call it Amplum.
Cappadosicum, subspecies Syndicum.
Yeah, we can call it all those species because the experts have all called it those species at one point. You can't be wrong. Guys, next up, we got Gold Coin.
It's a shocker. I love it. They like to argue over which one this is. So if you like to argue over which this one is, don't do it with me because I don't care. I like it either way. Gold Coin is amazing. Absolutely phenomenal plant. The yellow on this one can get metallic-y gold. Just absolute showstopper in the garden. It's one of those next level plants. I mean, I originally got it as well, not Amplum. Was it Amplum the first time?
It may have just turned to Amplum.
May have just turned to Amplum. Yeah, just an awesome plant. I think originally it was Longipes. Longipes is how we originally received this one. Just a great plant, though, no matter what species you consider this one. It's going to give you things that you like about batwing maples. It's going to give you things you like about truncatums. It's going to be closely related to those and like platanoides. So you're kind of in the right category of leaf shape if you like those. Big leaf, bright yellow. I mean, for most people, this is going to be, a golden usugumo. I mean, kind of that kind of category. That's kind of how I look at this one.
Yeah, and it just gives you that yellow color out there in the landscape. These are 1 gallons getting listed today, so grab them. There's not many of them. Because there's not many of them, I'm going to jump on the next one. We got Acer palmatum Lozita. This is a unique, interesting, upright Japanese maple. Great fall color on this as well. Definitely gives you some unique colors.
Love it. All right, moving along. We've got Cricket. This is an introduction by Elizabeth Mundy. This is a columnar, heat-tolerant red. A rival to Twombly's Red Sentinel a little bit. Elizabeth introduced this one, and she didn't have Twombly's Red Sentinel, so she was grafting Fire Glows, and this is distinctly a broom off of Fire Glow. So great color on this one. Just durable, narrow. I've loved its color. Sometimes it's even held its color better late into the season.
Yeah, this has been one that for us that's been really showy. That narrow habit makes it easy to grow. Speaking of narrow habits, next up we've got a sweet gum. We've got Slender Silhouette, and we've got these in 1 gallons. This is one of the coolest narrow plants found by the late, great Don Shadow. It was actually found growing on the side of a railroad track, and it's just a narrow sweet gum that grows really tall but stays very narrow, and that gives a lot of verticality in the garden.
That'd be a really shocking thing to find. That's why it's here on the Shock Drop. All right, coming up next, we got Lady Abyss. This is a great lace leaf. Again, this could have been a 10 out of 10 item, but we wanted to give you some shocking items here today. This one goes through a lot of different color changes. It's kind of, I'd almost put it in that ornatum group, but it's a little different than most of the other ornatum type colors.
That is for sure. It's got that nice cascading habit. Some of those off red colors, more of those orange red colors that's different than your typical red weeping lace leaf. Next up, we've got Acer palmatum common Nishiki. This is a uniquely variegated Japanese maple that's basically green, but it gets these swirling variegation in each and every leaf that's different. It's almost like a sand dusting type variegation, and it's one we haven't offered in Mr. Maple in a while, except through limited. Guys, I found a smaller set of these for the Shock Drop.
It's shocking. Next up, we've got another shocking plant, another Harold Johnson introduction. This one's very rare. I know a lot of people were highly after these at open houses. So these are XL. A couple of them are in XL. There's a small set of each size, though. Harold's Pine Bark. So this is a Harold Johnston, same guy that named that Abigail Rose. Named many great plants. Harold's famous for so many good plants. He also had a pine bark selection that really didn't make it into the trade. Tim and I went down, were visiting his apprentice, and got some scions off of this pine bark. So wasn't one that I would say hit the mainstream. He was certainly selling it. He offered it many times, but it kind of was one of those lost pieces in his collection.
Now, one of the things that struck our interest about Harold's pine bark is the leaf is a little more divided than your typical pine bark Japanese maple. A little more serrations to the leaf. It's really interesting to us because of what the progeny of this down the road may be. Because when you get a more Matsumuri styled leaf down that genetic rabbit hole, you might be able to find a lace leaf.
Man, you're giving away too much today. That's too shocking right there, bro. All right, here's a shocking plant, especially the first time you see it. Acer palmatum Reuben. Love this one. S-Feld introduction. Just a showstopper. It's got a lot of amazing kind of pink colors in the early spring. Tends to be a low spreading plant, so not something that's going to be. It's an upright, but it's not weeping.
Yeah, more shrub-like.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a great pairing with Chris and Star. Those are two of my favorite ones to put together currently. Both are going to be multi-stemmed, small, dense, and a little bit wider than you think. So not just little small uprights, but little dense, wide plants.
Now give it some sunlight to really peak up that pink color on Reuben. But it is an amazing tree. It's shocking. It's awesome. Dropping it on the Shock Drop. And, y'all, throw
some lightning effects in here.
I was really excited to find this set of Reuben, though. I'm like, that's an awesome set of something really cool to get people's interest for this Shock Drop.
That'll shock you.
It is. Next up, guys, we've got Moonfire. This is one of the best red uprights to hold its color very well, especially in the deep south. It's a sister seedling to Emperor 1, a little bit shorter growing. And I've heard a lot of my friends in Texas just hail about how great Moonfire is in the high heat.
You have friends in Texas? That's shocking. All right, next up, we've got Stewardia monadelpha, the orange bark Stewardia. This one's a great plant. I would say probably less known than Stewardia pseudocamellia, but monadelpha, it's got it going on. It's got great bark interest. It's got great flowers. It's got great fall colors. Just a great all-around species of Stewardia.
If you haven't seen our walkthrough with the South Carolina Botanical Garden, there's a great specimen of it right there. I probably should have done a cultivar highlight or a species highlight.
I don't think anybody's seen it because it hasn't aired yet. So I feel like in the upcoming weeks, if you haven't seen it, if you don't work at Mr. Maple, you haven't seen that one yet.
It's coming really soon, y'all. You're going to love Stewardia monadelpha, though. Bark interest, awesome. Fall color interest, awesome. Bloom interest, it's a trifecta plant that just always gives you something interesting in the garden. Give it good drainage, though. That's one of the keys with Stewardia. And plant them, but don't transplant them. They like being put in the ground and then being left alone. If you're transplanted around the ground all the time, Sororities definitely do not like that.
I always like those references to like 3 people. Like, unless you're Sean Corbin or Matt. If you haven't seen this one yet.
Hey, go check it out when it airs. Y'all, that was our shock drop. It's happening today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And these trees are only while they last.
It's electric.
You'll notice that when these trees drop, you'll start to see a lot of these trees sell out.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
So jump into this as quick as you can. I hope you enjoy the shock drop, because we figured something interesting, something fun, something a little bit different than what we've been doing on Fridays.
Weekend long, shocking new plants from the shock drop. Just something fun. We like doing fun things. Tim and I like to mix it up. We don't ever like to. When we start going one way too far, we're like, let's do something different. So, we try to switch things up. We were doing a flash sale. We were doing Fun Flower Friday for a while. Then we decided to do Flash Sale Friday. Now we're doing Shock Drop Friday. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but it's just something fun to switch things up.
I know it's going next week too, though, because I just got together next week's Shock Drop.
So getting you guys interested in plants, even here. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. If you haven't got your friends a gardening gift yet, you can give the gift of gardening with a Mr. Maple gift card. It's an easy way. They come directly to your email. You can print those off or you can forward them on. It's a great way to give the gift of gardening to your favorite gardener.
Thank you all so much. Take care.
Have a shocking day. God bless.
And have a good day.